Hi there, my name is Eli, and welcome back to my channel, Draculija. And as you can see, I have the brand new Monster High Hissfits 3-pack to unbox and review today. And this 3-pack retails for $74.99. I purchased it for pre-order off of Entertainment Earth, and they finally came in. It was quite the complicated process, and the overall release of this 3-pack has just been a little bit weird, but I'm not going to go into great detail. If you follow Monster High and you've kept up with this 3-pack, you know how complicated and frustrating this whole release has been, but I have them, and that's all I care about. And I'm super excited because this is the debut of both Meowlody and Purrsephone in Generation 3, so these are sort of like their core dolls, if you will, and that's what I'm most excited about, is that we're getting new characters, and I love seeing the universe of Generation 3 expand with new characters. It's been quite a year, honestly. We had Venus, and now we had Caddy and Spectra, and we're getting Meowlody and Purrsephone. Like, it's so much fun that we're getting these new characters. I can't wait to see who comes next. I think rumor has it that it's going to be Genifire and maybe Skeleta. So fingers crossed they come soon, because I love getting these new characters. And here's the packaging. There's the artwork. It's kind of meant to look like they're on stage rocking out. You can see these skeletons are meant to look like little lights. And then on the cardboard, you can see it's like the actual light shining through the skeleton. It's cool packaging. Like, it's not the best, and I'm going to be tearing it open anyways and probably recycling it. So there you go. You can see what it looks like for right now. And then on the back, there's the Hissfits artwork. They have gorgeous bangs that they actually do not come with, so this is quite deceptive, but they look stunning here. And then there is a little write-up as well if you would like to pause and read that and learn more about this 3-pack. But I am so eager and excited that I just want to tear this box open and take these dolls out of this packaging. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've unboxed the Hissfits, and I'm filming them in a different location than I normally do. I just really liked the lighting here today, and I put the box in the background so it kind of, feels like it's on theme for this review. And I'm gonna go over all of the accessories very quickly. There is a ton of them, and honestly, they're not that exciting. It's like food and makeup, things like that. But first off, you get a little poster for the Hissfits. You can see all 3 characters, Meowlody, Purrsephone, and Toralei, with their respective signatures. You also get like little pens that they can hold, so it's like, they're signing autographs. The only thing is, Toralei's color is wrong. Like, she signed in red, but this pen is black, but it happens. And then there's tons of other food accessories. We get burritos, like Doritos. We get a little falafel wrap thing. It's cool. We get some drinks. It looks like one comes for Meowlody and one comes for Purrsephone. Meowlody's is way cuter. It's like a little boba drink. And then we get some more snacks. We get, what are these, like goldfish, as well as some oat milk. Lots of food accessories. I mean, I get it. They're on tour. They got to stay energized. You get some makeup accessories. Like, we have some makeup compacts right here, like eyeshadow, highlighter type of deal. You get some lip gloss for both Meowlody and Purrsephone, and it actually matches their respective like lip colors with pink and red. And then you get some other accessories. We have a little brush. We've seen this with Claudine before. Another brush. This is like a hairbrush. This is like a makeup brush. And then you get some fashion accessories that I think are like halfway decent. You get a little necklace that says the Hissfits, as well as a closet that, not a closet, it's kind of generous. This is like a coat rack, and you get an oversized tank top that says the Hissfits on it. The print is like not the highest quality, but at least it's a fashion accessory. It's just a little, plain and uninspired. And then you get a fur stool that has some white, pink, and black stripes on it. I don't love these pieces, but I rather get fashion accessories than like plastic food and makeup accessories, so that's cool. And you also get 3 hangers with it. And then I think the other thing I forgot to cover real quick is this little lipstick that's pink. This is probably maybe for Toralei. And then you get this really cool caboodle. Feels random. It's like a little mini organizer. I like this accessory, and it has an actual tray inside that you can remove. It's just a little too big, I think, for the dolls. Like, it just looks a little too big. But I like it because you can actually store a lot of the accessories in this, so that's kind of cool. And then you get a duffel bag that is themed to the Hissfits. It's kind of ugly, but I kind of want to get like an extra doll wearing like maybe the tank top and this duffel bag, and they could be like a stagehand or something. And the mold is pretty cool, like the cat detail right there. There's a little charm that's like a feather and a mouse, like a cat toy. And I like the tail detail on this side as well. So pretty cool, pretty stiff plastic, and you can actually store some things inside as well. So I like that they're giving you items to store all of these accessories so you don't lose them as easily. And then lastly, you get some guitars for both of the Werecat twins. Meowlody's guitar is pink and Pursephone's is purple, and they're like inverted of one another, as you can see. There you go. I think they're really cool. I like all the details, and it's that kind of printing technique that Mattel has been using. I think it's really awesome, and I like them a lot. They're pretty hollow, as you can see, but it keeps them lightweight, and they're a lot nicer than the one that came with the Monster Fest Draculaura food truck. So huge fan of these. They're on quality with like Amped Up Frankie as well as the most recent Fearbook Toralei. So yes, I prefer this quality. Very good. And that is all the accessories. Now I'll take a closer look at all of these gorgeous dolls. Okay, let's start off with Toralei. My first impressions with this overall design is I actually surprisingly really like it. Out of the box, she is a little messy, a little disheveled with her hair, but I think once I fix her up and just kind of give her some TLC, she'll be perfect. But even right now, out of the box, the way her fashion's laying and displayed, she looks really good. I love her accessories, the tail tambourine and the microphone. I also like Toralei that she can kind of tier between silver and gold accessories as far as like her metal, even though she has a silver earring, which we'll get to. But yeah, I like her with gold. I feel like it looks really good. It kind of feels like she's kind of sunset themed, with her boots especially being ombre, and I like the metallics. I like the different textiles we have here. Overall, I'm pretty happy with her. Now let's start getting into the nitty gritty. Starting off with her face, I feel like the only thing I have with her face that kind of confuses me is this specific shade of pink she has in her lips and her eyeshadow. We don't really have that pink anywhere else on this look, like maybe the boots, I guess, but it's just a very bright shade of pink that I'm a little bit not used to for Toralei. But her eyeliner is pretty cool. It's very graphic with the eyeshadow that smokes out to pink and then purple, and then she has little, is this leopard or cheetah? I want to say like leopard, but like little, no, cheetah, right? Cheetah spots that are pink and purple, which is maybe a nod to Meowlody and Purrsephone. I'm not quite sure. And it's on both cheeks. And her lips look pretty good. Her nose is perfect. Her eyes look very symmetrical. And normally she has that kind of like smirk where one brow is noticeably raised. And it's a little bit raised here on the right, but not terribly. So I'm not mad at it. The only other thing about this doll, unfortunately, is her head does not match her body, which you can see clearly from like the side profile view. It's not the right shade. I don't know what happened here. And I feel like every single Toralei I've seen has this. So if you're waiting for this to get fixed, good luck, because it seems like this is just going to be something that plagues this specific Toralei. And it's unfortunate, but there it is. And moving on to her hair. I love her hair. Okay, she has this huge chunky purple streak in the front. It's actually two different shades of purple if you look closely, which is nice. I like the detail right there. And then she has a side part with some black streaks in the back and predominantly this orange color. And then maybe the weirdest part, once again, is this like pink streak in the back. I don't know why that's there, but it is there. And her hair is giving very Halloween. She's kind of giving G3's like version of Cast of Fierce, almost like Halloween pop star kind of moment. And overall, I really like her hair. I like how long it is, and it looks terrible out of the box, but surprisingly, there's no product in it. It's just messy, right? So the way they had to like separate it to put this crown on is probably not helping it. There's even an elastic on her head that's, I think, helping the crown stay secured. And I will be taking this crown off later to wash her hair, but you can see there's some chain details underneath, and then there's even a T-tie right there that is just kind of helping the elastic secure to something. And I do like this crown detail. It's very fun, very cool, unique piece. It's like a headband, and then this one wraps over this ear, and she has a gold earring and a silver earring. Why this earring is silver, I have no clue, but it is. And overall, from her face and her hair, I really like her. Like, I want doubles of this doll already just to like restyle and play with, but you know, This 3-pack is a little expensive, so I don't know how likely that's going to be. Okay, moving on to Toralei's fashion. I like the fashion she's rocking here today, and it's busy, yes, but I really like the silhouette it gives her. It does give like pop star performance vibes, and it's really fun. It's very opposite of Amped Up Frankie, who was leaning a little bit more like David Bowie. This is leaning a little bit more modern pop star like Beyonce, Ariana Grande vibes. I like the cage skirt and I like the caged shoulders as well. They just need some paint details in my opinion, which I'll try and fix up later. And she just has a very simple holographic purple romper underneath that has this fabric train. I can't tell if this is separate from the romper or not. And once I wash her hair, I'll take off all of her fashion so I can, wash her. And then I'll show you more up close the romper underneath as well as this like train piece. But I think she looks really good. I like the color scheme. I like the red in her design as well. And overall, I'm pretty happy with it. She has these plastic fingerless gloves that we've seen recently on Monster Fest Frankie. And oh, it looks like the shoulder pieces right here even have a little closure to keep them shut. Let me show you up close. You see that? That's pretty cool. I've never seen that or noticed that detail before. So if you want to take this off, you have to undo that little closure. And there's still some decent shoulder movement here, despite this piece looking kind of stiff. Like you can still move her hands and get some dynamic posing, which I prefer and enjoy. This little gold chain detail is not the best. Like you can see, it comes loose really easily, and that's why there's elastic wrapped around it so it doesn't fall off. So I don't love that design. Like it feels not that well thought out. Like it's already loose from here and here, and it's just literally being held on with elastic currently. And then moving on to her boots, which I think are so fun. I know we're a little exhausted by these ombre boots, but I don't mind it. They're pretty cool. We go from purple to pink to gold. I just wish this gold paint carried on to the pink portion. I understand not painting gold over gold. That's one thing, but like we couldn't have painted this gold. Like, okay. And then there's this little medallion with like a little cat toy right here, which that kind of design theme and motif is carried on to the heel, which is the cat scratching post. So stupid, but I love it so much. It's ridiculous. Like they're very glam, and then they have just like that tiny bit of Monster High, theming to them that makes them feel very special and unique, and I appreciate that. I also just love that they go past the knee, and I like this point right here. I feel like that gives it a really nice shape and silhouette. So overall, I'm a fan of this Toralei. I think she's kind of unpopular. Like the general vibe that I'm getting is people want this 3-pack mainly for the Werecat twins, which I totally get. They're awesome as well. But I am also a fan of this Toralei, and I can't wait to fix her up and see what she has to offer, because I feel like once I do her hair, I'm really just going to be in love with her. I really feel it. I really feel it. She has so much potential. Okay, now I'm going to take a closer look at the Werecat twins, and we'll get Toralei out of here just so we can focus on them. Okay, now we'll talk about Meowlody and Purrsephone. Overall, I really love both of these dolls. I'm happy that we're getting new characters introduced into Generation 3, and it's really fun to see them. I love their skin tone as well, this kind of purpley, cool toned gray, very gorgeous. And the one thing that bugs me, well, two things that bug me with these dolls are, first and foremost, the bangs. Don't love these bangs, and I'm going to try and fix them later on in this video. But then second, I like their color scheme. Like, they have black and white kind of as their primary design, and then they each have a unique accent color, with Meowlody having pink and Purrsephone having purple, right? It shows up in their fashion, it shows up in their hair, and it shows up in their makeup. Their makeup kind of has a nod to one another. And then they have an accent color that they share, being this red color. So I like that, right? I like that color story and those design principles. Now where I get kind of confused and where I get a little irked is, why does Meowlody have purple boots? Because purple is Purrsephone's color, and if she's going to be borrowing Purrsephone's color, wouldn't you think Purrsephone then should be wearing some pink as well to be a nod to her sister? But she has no pink on her design. And I like that she has no pink. I feel like she looks great. I have an issue with her because of these purple boots. It just really throws everything off. Like, she's working with 3 colors here. Well, 4, right? Black, white, purple, and red. She should only have black, white, pink, and red. So the fact that she has these boots, it just kind of really bugs me, and I'm probably going to paint them so I can fix that and really just make sure their color stories feel cohesive. But overall, I love these two. Now let's take a closer look at both of these dolls. So starting off with Meowlody, I'm gonna just kind of move Purrsephone to the side for the time being. She has pigtails, and they are nice, and I like the color of her hair. I feel like on camera it looks more yellow tinted, but in person it is a lot more white. Just want to mention that because I know people sometimes get nervous with white hair that it's going to turn yellow over time, but it really is white in person, I swear. And then she has, once again, those terrible bangs with these black and white stripes, and then she has this pink accent color and black stripes as well. I really like this pink hair. It's actually 2 shades of saran hair, and I wish we got this color on Viridescent Draculaura. It's so pastel, and I really like it. It's very cool. And I think the hair's fun. I like it. The one thing with Werecats and like Abby Abominable, because she has horns, is the ears really limit the hairstyles, and you can't do pigtails placed high on the head because of the ears. So you're kind of forced and relegated to these like low pigtails, and it's fine. It's just, as someone who likes to restyle hair, I've definitely tested these limitations of ears, and they're really difficult to create fun styles around. You have to get really, really creative. So yeah, not my favorite default hairstyle, but it's fine. Also, this pink streak on this side is super long. I have to trim the hair, which I rarely ever have to do. It's weird that it would be this choppy and uneven. So just want to mention that. It's kind of bizarre. And then her face, I like her face. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of coy, and she looks kind of aloof. Like, she just kind of looks surprised, but I like it. Her eyes are very cute, and I love her Cupid's bow on her lips. They're very full and in this pink color. She has some purple like cheetah spots right there, and then her screening isn't the best. Like, her hazel eye looks pretty good, but her purple eye, the screening is like a little bit foggy right there, which is unfortunate. And then she has pink eyeshadow that fades out to purple. Pretty simple. Oh, and yeah, she has heterochromia. She has a purple and a hazel eye, and I like her little eye shine. It's just a little twinkle. It's very pretty. And there are her brows. They look pretty good. I like it a lot. Overall, I'm pretty happy with her face. I will say I do prefer Purrsephone's face, but I like Meowlody as well. And moving on to her fashion, she's very layered, and I like that these are all separates. So this skirt is separate from this pink undershirt from this tube top. They're all separate pieces, and I love that. The only thing is with this skirt, there's no tail hole, so it just kind of gets velcroed and fastened right underneath the tail, which I don't love. And this pink undershirt is a little bit longer to layer the skirt underneath, as you can see. If I were to take this off, you can see that this is a little bit longer. And then there's where her fishnets meet right there, which we'll get into that. Do not worry. But let me put this back on real quick. Okay, she's dressed back up. And I like the top area, but it's a little bit busy. Like, oh, there's her necklace. I think with this necklace, which is like clear with a little bell, and then the little Peter Pan collar, plus the tube top, plus these clear spaghetti straps, like this area right here is very busy. And I feel like without the necklace, you can see more of the collar, and it's very cute, and I wish it kind of was more simple like that. So I'm kind of tempted to just remove the necklace altogether, and I wonder if I can even cut off these clear straps and this shirt will still stay on nice and snug, because the clear straps over the collar as well kind of obstruct that silhouette. So she's kind of weirdly designed in this area. It's kind of bizarre. I like the pink mesh undershirt, and I like these puffy sleeves. They're very frilly and almost like a Disney princess. I just wish the silhouette was a little bit more dramatic. I just wish they kind of went there with it. But I think her fashion is cute. The one thing I feel about the red on this design is I wish it wasn't so much like a scarlet red. It's very orange toned. I wish it was more like fire truck, like candy apple red. I think that would just look a lot better in my opinion. Yeah, just not a fan of this particular shade. But on the skirt, I really like these claw marks that are gold. The gold, I don't know if it's like a decal that's printed on. It almost does feel like a vinyl decal, almost like something that you'd put on with like a Cricut machine or something. But the gold is really pretty. It's really cool. I like it a lot. And there's some stitching detail on the skirt that's nice. Overall, I'm a fan. Where I start to get frustrated is obviously these fishnets that have a really awkward length. Like, I can't tell if they're meant to be fully covered by the boot or if they're kind of meant to like sit right there. I don't know. I don't know what the design intentions were. I kind of want to keep them a little bit up like that. And honestly, it's not like we haven't seen this length of fishnet before. Like Draculaura's fishnets from her G1 Cordal kind of look like this. So I know as fans, we kind of like, get very picky and particular. And it's not like we haven't seen fishnets this length before. But they're at an awkward length where I can't tell what they want to be, right? Like, are they supposed to have some leg exposed? Are they supposed to be fully covered? I'm just not too sure. And then moving on to these purple boots that I had so much to say about earlier. So I like the mold, right? If you look at the mold with all the belts and the little cat detail right there, they're really pretty. Just don't like that they're purple. It's pretty simple. And I also wish they had more of a platform. They don't have a lot of height to them. And I just wish they were a little bit taller. But overall, whoever's sculpting these shoes at Monster High, you're doing a great job. These look stunning. They're really fun. The left one is kind of misshapen. It looks a little bit shorter, which is weird, but pretty cool. And then even better on the bottom, you can see it says meow, and then there's a little cat silhouette on this side, like a little cat laying down. Oh, I love it. These shoes are cool. Just gotta fix the color, and I think I'll be happy with them. And that is Meowlody. I like her a lot. She feels very distinct from her sister, and she's nice, but I have to say, I already think I'm gonna prefer Purrsephone, so let's take a look at her instead. Okay, moving on to Purrsephone, who I think I prefer. I think her design is a lot more cohesive, and I'm really drawn to her. Starting off with her face, I love how much space she has on her eyelids for her makeup. It's so glam and it's very sultry, and I just think she has such a unique face in screening. And also mine is pretty good. It's pretty symmetrical. The screening looks really nice, and I love the eyeshadow on the eyelids from pink to purple that kind of smokes out to a black color, and then there's some more pink underneath. She as well has heterochromia with a hazel and a purple eye, just in opposite placements of her sister. And then as a nod to her sister, she has some pink cheetah stripes right there. Is it cheetah or is it leopard? I really should figure that out. I want to say leopard, but maybe it's cheetah. I don't know. And overall, I think she has a gorgeous face. Her nose is really cute. Her lips are totally different shape than her sister's as well. They do not have a cupid's bow. Instead, they kind of have this like just round shape at the top lip, but they're very nice. They purse out very cutely, and I'm a huge fan. And then there are her brows. Very nice, but I'm probably going to cover them up, once I fix these bangs. But I want to show you what they look like if you're curious. And then she has the similar white stripes on her cheeks right there. Very cute. They also have these little fur tufts if they want to wear glasses, just FYI, all the werecats have that. And mine has this like black speck here, if you look closely, but it kind of looks like a beauty mark. So, her little Marilyn Monroe moment. Now, moving on to her hair. She does not have pigtails. She just has her hair down in the middle part. And she has black hair with some white streaks and purple in the back. And this purple looks like the same exact shade that they used on Monster Fest Claudine. I love this color. It's so pretty. And weirdly enough, her middle part, like the hair is not displaced evenly. Like too much of it is pulled to the right side. You can see there's a bald spot right there. And then even the white hair, like there's none over here, and it's super chunky on this side. So I'm gonna need to spend some time and fix her middle part, which is bizarre. I don't see this often, but I want to mention it. You can kind of just go through with the comb and like separate the hair and flip it back to the other side, but very weird. She has 3 earrings. They're little loops, and there's 1 on this side and 2 on this side. Very simple compared to her sister, who actually had like designs like, like a little ball of yarn and stuff. Like she just has like, nothing really, just like little loops. And moving on to her fashion, I was just praising her sister because I'm like, she has all separates, and then she doesn't. This shirt and sleeves are connected. They are not separate, and I'm guessing it has to do with the construction of the shirt, so it just sits properly. I don't know, but it is a little disappointing. I would have preferred if they were separate pieces that we could play with and restyle, but it is still really cute. And funny enough, this shirt kind of has these 2 little flaps of fabric in the back that kind of look like a peplum if you style them correctly. It's very interesting. I do like it, but kind of just a bizarre shirt overall. And I like the sleeves. I like how long they are. That similar black and white tiger stripe chevron print. And then the print on her shirt is like a little black cat. She's also wearing a gold necklace with like a paw print. I think it's a paw print. I can't quite tell. And then we move on. She has these little pleather shorts that have the similar tiger stripes, not tiger stripes, claw marks in gold. And her belt is really cute with silver and gold accents. I don't mind mixing metals with gold and silver. I think it's fine. Yeah, I think they pull it off surprisingly. I really do. I think they can pull it off. And then moving on, I haven't mentioned it yet, but both of these dolls have the similar body type that Cleo Denial and Spectra Vondergeist have. So they have some thicker thighs and wider hips compared to like a standard Monster High mold. And I think fans have coined this body type like the glam body, which, you know, I didn't have any part in creating that name. I'm just kind of regurgitating what I've heard others call this body type, but I like it. It's kind of funny that we went from having only one body type, being Cleo, to now 4 with Spectra, Meowlody, and Purrsephone. Such a rapid ascent, and I hope we get other body types explored. Like, I would like to see more like Abby and Draculaura body types explored, even Caddy. So yeah, I am all here for this body diversity. Then moving on to Persephone's shoes and sock situation. So these are not real socks. These are fake socks. They're like leg warmers. As you can see from behind, they're not going all the way to the bottom. They are deceptive as well, but they do a better job at giving the illusion compared to Meowlody. So I like them. They're just this black cotton stretch fabric with this white ribbon that is stitched on. And I like the socks, but I don't love these shoes. They're just this red shoe with some purple paint details. And similar to her sister, they just need a bigger platform. They're just very short. And the mold is a little bit less exciting. Like, there's not that many nods to them being cats, other than her belt buckles are little cats right there, as you can see. Yeah. And then I like the stripes right here, but they could use just a smidgen more paint. And then like her sister on the bottom, you can see hers say purr for Persephone, and then she also has a cat. So love those little details. And overall, I really love her design. I just prefer her to Meowlody. I'm more of a Persephone stan myself, but let me know down in the comments which of the Werecat twins you prefer. Do you like Meowlody or Persephone more? Are you like me and you're feeling Persephone, or do you like Meowlody? Meowlody's really cool too. So yeah, pick whoever you like. Your choice, your prerogative, but I love her. She's so cool. Okay, let me bring Toralei back so we can transition to the customizing portion of this video. Okay, Toralei is back. I really love all 3 of these dolls. I think out of the box, they are perfectly fine, but I want to wash their hair, fix it up a little bit, just make them look perfect and ready for display. So I'm going to try and fix up both of their bangs because they desperately need the help. And then Toralei also needs a good hair wash and restyle. And then for the boots, I'm just going to add some paint details here and there. And then for Toralei in specific, I think I'm going to add some gold paint detail to her like plastic accessories. So that's the game plan. Let's go ahead and get this started. Starting off with Toralei, I'm taking some of this Folk Art Treasure Gold paint in the shade Gold. I know that's confusing, but like there's other shades. The brand itself is just called Treasure Gold, but it's my favorite metallic paint, and I'm going over all of the chains on Toralei's boots, even the paint that was already there, and even the gold plastic section. I go over everything just so the paint is cohesive, you know, it looks very finished, I guess. And I also paint over her cage skirt and like shoulders as well, her like cage shoulder sleeves, but I don't show that, but you'll see it in the end. Trust me, I did do it. I just didn't have the chance to film it, but there's the paint details that I added. Okay, I gave Toralei a boil wash, and here she is. I love this hair, and it's so long. I am going to give her a fun hairstyle. There's a one-of-a-kind like mermaid Barbie that I want to try and recreate her hairstyle on this Toralei. So we'll see how it goes. There's lots of braids and maybe some crimps involved and like a twisty bang portion. I'll put up an image right here so you can see what I'm trying to recreate, but that's the goal, and I hope it looks good. I feel like it would be fun to do that with this Toralei, just something for a little stage performance. So wish me luck. Let me go ahead and get that started. So as I was referencing the Caribbean princess, one-of-a-kind mermaid Barbie, it looked like she had braids all along the perimeter of her hairline. So I went ahead and braided that. And then to the right side of her hairline, like I braided those braids together to form like one mega braid, which I'll tie back later. But it also looked like that Barbie doll had crimped hair, which you could barely tell, but when you looked closer and examined it, it looked like it was crimped. So I'm going to honor that and crimp Toralei's hair as well. And I'm taking a flat iron that has like these crimp plates that you can switch out. I'm using the widest length available of the crimp options. There's like 3 different crimping plates, and I'm using the widest one. And this flat iron has the lowest heat setting of 180 degrees Celsius, which I think is about 320 degrees Fahrenheit. You really want to be very careful when you're using heat tools on saran hair, because saran hair has a much lower melting point than, say, nylon, which is a little bit easier to heat style. Now, I still heat style saran hair. I've seen a lot of people say you can't use heat tools on saran hair, but for me, I found that I can get away with crimping the hair. I've never attempted to curl saran hair using heat tools because it's very sensitive. Like, I'm only holding this crimper to the hair for literally like 1 to 2 seconds. That's it. So I don't burn it off, because that's my literal nightmare. And I wet the hair so it's soaking wet to sort of protect the hair. I'm not taking any human heat protectant styling products to this hair, just because I don't want to bring any oil-based products to plastic doll hair that's going to damage it long term. So my solution is just to wet it. And this works out pretty well for me. I've crimped doll hair in the past, like Claudine before. So I like this. I definitely recommend investing in heat tools. Like, I don't use these heat tools on my own hair. It's literally only for dolls, but it's very fun to have different options for hair restyling. I'll go ahead and link this in my video description. It won't be an affiliate link, so I won't make any money off of it. It's just for y'all's reference if you are interested in, expanding your repertoire for doll hair restyling. And then after I let this air dry, and I'll take the end of my rat tail comb and just sort of like separate these crimps out to breathe some life into the hair, give it some volume, and make it look really nice. And I finished restyling this Toralei later, which you'll see at the end of this video, but I'm really happy with how she turned out. I think she's very pretty. And I also think this hair restyle would look great on Laguna as well. So maybe we'll see that in the future. Moving on to the Werecat twins. This is going to be very wordy and sometimes maybe confusing, and I'm going to try my best to explain what I'm doing, but I am doing a partial reroot for the twins and adding in some hair to their center part, so that way when I section out some new bangs for them, I can sort of retain those signature black and white stripes in their bangs that I really like. Now, the best example I can give you of this is if you go back and watch my Stitched in Style Frankie Stein video where I redo her bangs, because that Frankie had the same exact bangs as these dolls, like those broomstick style bangs, And when I fixed that Frankie's bangs and I gave them new bangs using the hair that they already had on their head, Frankie's bangs went from black and white stripes to all black, which looks good on that doll, and I'm happy with the results. But for Meowlody and Purrsephone, I want to retain that really cool stripe pattern that they have. So that's why I'm adding hair to their head, and that's why it's like a partial reroot. Like, I'm not rerouting their entire head. I'm keeping the hair that they already have. I'm just adding some hair in very selective spots, so that way when I create these bangs, I still have that stripe pattern. Now, I also do something different that's maybe unpopular, but I keep their default bangs. I don't pluck them and take them out of their head. I just layer on top of those bangs and use them as sort of a guideline for me to cut my new bangs. And I don't know, it works for me. I've done this in the past before where I've just left the bangs on the head and I don't remove them. So you can follow my steps and keep them there if you like, or if you really are inclined, you can go ahead and pluck them out. But I just find that it's kind of a waste of time. And here you see with Purrsephone, I'm doing the exact same thing, except this time I'm adding some black hair to her center part, so that way their bangs still have that really signature cool black and white stripe effect. This is a little bit more advanced. This isn't very beginner friendly, but for me, I really want to accomplish a specific look for these dolls, so I found this method worked pretty well. Okay, after the partial reboot, I went ahead and boil washed the hair so I could make sure the bangs were laid flat. I also sectioned out the hair so I had just the right amount of hair I wanted for bangs. That might not make sense and be kind of confusing, but if you've watched any of my videos where I've done bangs, even recently when I did Fearbook Toralei, you'll know what I'm talking about, but I just sectioned out additional hair for the bangs. Now I'm going to be laying those bangs flat with some hair gel. Meowlody gave me a lot of difficulty because white hair is very translucent. the first time that I laid these bangs out and was sectioning them and flattening them out with my comb, the placement and pattern of the bangs was just all wrong. Like, as you can see here, the black stripes did not line up, and you could see the black from her original bangs peeking through the white hair. So I was not happy with that, and I decided to redo her bangs and start from scratch. So I'm brushing the hair out again and trying to lay them out better so that the hair lines up and there's no weird sort of hair peeking through, if that makes sense. She gave me some struggle, but I'm very happy with how these look in the end. It was just very finicky, and it required a lot of finessing these bangs. And once I get them how I like them, I'm just gonna let them dry, and then we'll go and cut them and trim them later. But this is step 2 of however many steps involved. And then after I make sure I like the way they look, I go in with another layer of gel just to make sure that they are really, really hardened and secure. And I'll do the same thing after Meowlody to Purrsephone. Now, Persephone's bangs do not look as good as Meowlody's, I'll say. Like, Meowlody's have a really clear, like, white, black, white sort of stripe pattern. Purrsephone, I couldn't really get that pattern to look as good, just because my partial reroot like wasn't perfect. So I just decided to, work with what I got, and I'm still happy with the way her bangs look. They're just not perfect. They don't really match her sisters as well, but I don't care. I don't care. I still think they look really good, and I'm very happy with them. And there you can see I'm still laying them out flat with my comb, just really finessing them to get them to lay right. And lots of hair gel, lots of patience, but for me it was worth it to fix up their bangs because I really want to make sure that I love and adore these dolls, and I am willing to put in all of this effort because for me this is my hobby, this is what makes me happy, this is what I like to do. Now we're going to move on and trim the bangs so you can see how easy these can trim and shape because the gel dried and hardened, and it makes it really easy to style and shape these bangs. I'm just going in with my embroidery scissors and trimming away. This is my favorite step. It's like the final step. It's the home stretch. You're so close to the end results. And, I always mention this, but it's less and less scary for me now because I've been restyling doll bangs for like so long now that this is kind of easy. But if this is your first time, go slow, take your time, baby steps, don't rush into it because you can't undo what you cut. Whatever you cut is however short they're going to be. So if you mess it up at this point, there's really no fixing it. Now moving on to Purrsephone, the same thing as Meowlody, just trimming her bangs, getting them looking nice and neat and orderly. And after this, they are almost done. I'm also going to customize some of their accessories, but I don't capture that much footage of that, just a forewarning, but you'll see the end results and I'll show you everything. I'm very happy with how these dolls came out. I really love these twins, and it's just such a shame how crappy their default bangs were. Like, I don't know what Mattel was thinking. It's very weird because these are their core dolls. You think when these characters get introduced, you want to like introduce them with their best foot forward, but they didn't do that. They gave them terrible looking bangs that I don't know if anyone likes. So I'm not trying to be like a stickler here and just like find issues in things where there don't need to be issues. Like, I genuinely think these bangs looked terrible and needed fixing. So this was my solution. I'm really happy with it, and I'm happy this technique worked out because I've never done it before. So there they are. Okay, so I feel like I've been restyling these dolls forever and filming them forever, but also I had a friend in town, so I really wanted to finish this project, and I started filming these boots, and I only captured me painting them white, and then after that I finished everything off camera. But you'll see the boots soon enough in their final form. This is all I got as far as footage goes, but you know what? I'm just blabbering anyways at this point. I'll explain everything I did to these boots, but you'll see they're turning white, and they look really good, and I'm very happy with them. But now, let me shut up and show you the end results. Okay, we have reached the end. This is my favorite part of the video, where I'm finally finished and I can show you all of the changes that I made. Now, I feel like I've been customizing my dolls a lot lately, which like for me is fun, but I also want to emphasize like this is something that brings me joy in this hobby, and I come on here to share all the changes I make to my dolls, because it's sort of me documenting my own journey as a doll collector, someone who likes to customize and restyle. But this is not me trying to say like my way of doing things is the right way. If you fully like to get your dolls out of the box and just keep them as is, that's totally valid as well. This is just how I like to do things, and this is what makes me happy. And for me, the way I like to describe it is like, you know, these dolls have been highly anticipated, and sometimes it feels like these highly anticipated releases, we can move on from them so quickly, right? Like it's on to the next one, on to the next one. And for me, I really like to spend some time with these dolls, cherish them, customize them, sit with them for a while, and like really savor them and feel like I can spend time with them because I've been waiting for them. I want to enjoy them, right? And for me, like this process of customizing them and restyling them, even if it's just a slight restyle, it really helps me appreciate these dolls. And I feel so more attached to these dolls now because I've spent some time customizing them. So that's my spiel. Like that's kind of what inspires me. Plus I like to, you know, see what I can pull off with my creative chops and see how I can sort of fix designs and make them feel something that makes me happier. Because, you know, for me, I don't want to just come on here and complain and be like, I hate this, this is ugly, this is terrible, and then like, okay, bye, that was fun. Like if I'm gonna like complain, I kind of want to put my money where my mouth is and like fix said complaints and make the dolls more to my liking, which for some people I think they see that as like, well, why are you buying toys or dolls that you don't like the quality? And it's like it's very complex, it's very nuanced. Like I can still love Monster High and still every now and then be disappointed with the execution or a design choice or a design element, but that doesn't mean like overall in summation that I don't like the products that I'm buying, the dolls that I'm buying. Like I wouldn't buy these dolls and pour my heart and soul. Well, that's kind of dramatic, but I wouldn't buy these dolls and like put my love into them if I didn't like them. You know what I mean? Clearly, I like them. I mean, I love Monster High dolls, but sometimes for me, it's also fun to fix them up a little bit and give them some changes. So that's a long spiel. Now let me get into all the changes because, you know, that's what this is about. So starting off with Toralei, I first changed her hair up. So if you saw the stock photos that I showed you of the Caribbean Princess Mermaid Barbie, which is like such a wordy name, but that Barbie, I really liked her hairstyle and I thought it would translate pretty well on this doll. I did make one change and I did section out hair for that little twisty bang that she had, but that works well for a mermaid. For a pop star, you know, it's going to kind of obstruct them when they're performing. So I decided to twist it and tie it back. As you can see, it kind of twists and ties back around her ear, and then it meets with this like braid that I did. Like I braided 3 braids together to make one mega braid, and then I tied that back to the twist portion, and then I crimped that as well. So this is all crimped back here. I really like the crimped hair. It's very fun. And even back here on her hairline, you can see there's additional braids. I just think it's a really fun, intricate hairstyle that's very like subtle yet effective. And I even put some braids in the front to sort of like help frame the doll. I think she's really pretty. I'm obsessed with this doll. Like her hair color is beautiful. I love the hair length. And I know for Toralei, some people think she deserves short hair, which yeah, I get that. But for like the play potential as an adult, and I suspect with children as well, long hair is just so fun to play with, like so much fun. And this color is just beautiful too. I would love to see this hair color on Toralei again because this release is very difficult to get a hold of. So I want more of this hair color in future Toralei's, please. But overall, very happy with how her hair turned out. And the more I've just held her, I've also become more in love with this face. I think in the beginning I said I didn't like the pink lips. I take it all back. I love the pink lips. And moving on, I also painted some of her plastic pieces. Now, I didn't show me painting these 2 pieces right here, but I did. I used gold paint, and I even painted the little chain attachment in the middle, and I tied it back with elastic as well, because this piece is so finicky. It's not even plugged in to that piece right there, but like, I don't care. Like it looks fine. But I painted this gold because even though it was gold plastic, it didn't match the gold paint I was using, so I like to go the extra mile and just make sure the gold finishes match throughout. And I think it looks pretty good. I like it a lot. You can see the studs are gold all around as well, like even on the back. So I think this looks really cool. It's giving me a strong Queen of Hearts vibes, which I didn't say that earlier, but the more I've sat with it, like I see the inspiration even with the crown, and she's really, really cute. She's really precious. Also, one thing about this crown, now that I've removed it, is this plastic is very, very flimsy, which is also why the way I styled the hair was very intentional to sort of secure the crown in place so it doesn't fall off of her head. That's just one thing to note, because this was like tied into place with the default packaging, but if you remove the default packaging and take the crown off, it doesn't stay on the head as well. So that's why I was trying to be very intuitive with the hairstyle so that it could help secure the crown. That's also another reason I tied this big section back. Now moving on to the last thing I did on Toralei, these boots. I mean, are you kidding? Look at this mold. Look at the potential this mold has. With a little bit extra love and paint, they're just gorgeous. I painted over everything gold, even this little bottom of the heel, even the little cat scratch heel, everything was repainted gold, and it looks stunning. Overall, like, I'm obsessed with this Toralei. She's beautiful. She's become one of my favorites, and I say that every time, so I should just stop saying it because it's losing its meaning. But like, really, look at her. Look how good she looks. Now also, real quick, she doesn't really go with the twins, and I brought over Anthem Frankie because they feel more like a duo, right? Sort of like a battle of the bands situation at Monster Ball, like rivals and competing to see who wins and who's the better musical act. So I actually prefer these two side by side, even though Anthem Frankie, I feel like with time I've become less fond of. Like, their screening just looks a little aloof and a little strange, but I still like this doll. But yeah, I feel like they pair really well together. So I wanted to have Amped Up Frankie make a quick cameo because I think this is really cool and really gorgeous. Okay, now let's take both of them away so we can get into the Hissfits. Wait, not the Hissfits. What are they called? The Werecat twins. That's right. I'm totally blanking. Okay, on to Meowlody and Purrsephone. They're finally finished, and honestly, in the grand scheme of things, I fixed the bangs and painted the boots. Like, two things that I did here, but I feel like those two things made a huge difference. I feel like their designs feel a lot more cohesive now. Their color stories are in sync, and I feel like as much as I really liked Purrsephone and I felt like her style felt, I don't know, very distinct, I feel like the simple change of changing her boots from purple to white helps flesh out her personality a little bit more, and it also makes her lean a little bit more 70s disco. Like, I really like Meowlody a lot more now, which is so stupid because I just painted the boots. Like, it's not like I did a whole lot, but I really feel like this big chunk of white at the bottom helps balance out her design with her white hair. It just feels like the flow of her design is a little bit more in sync, and I'm very happy with these changes. Now let me show you them up close. Here are her bangs. As you can see with the partial reroot, we have more distinctive stripes in the bangs, which I prefer, and they look really cutesy. I really like them, and this is what they needed from the beginning. It's very annoying that I had to fix them like this, and it's not the easiest fix either. So I hope I showed the process decently if you're interested to fix them yourself. One thing I also did, which I totally forgot to mention, is I also patched up other sections of her hair that were kind of bald. I added some hair, like right here, so she wasn't bald, and then especially right, like here, where her ears meet. It's really bright, but I even added some hair there as well to cover up bald spots. I did that off camera, and I forgot to mention it, but I feel like it's worth mentioning. I was just kind of like already patching up the bangs, and then I was like, can I patch up other areas of the head? And yes, I can. Now, with the partial reboot, because I've never done this, I was kind of concerned like how well the hair was going to stay in the head, because part of the rebooting process is, you know, gluing the hair in and securing the hair in place. But I found if I was gentle and not like tugging on the hair, it wouldn't fall out. And especially after I had boil washed it and like set it in place with some heat, it really wasn't going anywhere. So the process was pretty easy. It worked out pretty well, and the end results speak for themselves. I'm very happy with her bangs. Now, the best part are her boots. There they are. You can see the inside of the boot right there is like purple still, but it's fine. It just looks like it's like lined or something, you know? But there they are. They're white. I painted the belts with some black, and then went over the buckles with gold, and the little stripes on her heel I painted like a metallic pink. And I did a gloss varnish over the white portion. Over the belts, I did a satin varnish. Like, it took forever. These boots took forever, and I'm really sorry I couldn't show more of the process, but here are the end results. I feel like they're gorgeous, and they really complete her outfit and make her feel distinctive, and really helps flesh out her design. So I'm very happy with them. And now moving on to her sister. Her sister had less drastic changes for the shoes, but the hair was the same process as Meowlody. There are Persephone's bangs. Like I said, the stripes are a little bit choppy. Like, it's not as like nice as her sister, but honestly, they still look good. They still look good, and that's all I care about. But you can see, like, the white hair is just, it's a little bit more difficult to work with. I don't know. I'm just making up excuses, but there she is. I still like her more than her sister. I still do. Even though I think Meowlody looks gorgeous now, I'm just gravitated to this face. Like, it's, what's that mark? She's got a mark on her. But yeah, I'm just more gravitated to her face. So sorry, not sorry. She's still my favorite. And there are her shoes. Pretty simple changes. Just brought out some of the details in them. Some white details on the stripes. These I painted black, painted the laces, painted the belt buckles. I kept the purple paint. I was going to paint them over, but I was like, you know what? Who cares? Let's just keep that paint and keep it moving. Also, one thing that I noticed after taking off her socks, they have this like little elastic lining at the top and bottom that helps them stay in place so they don't shift, which is very cool. If they're not going to give us a complete sock, that detail really helps them out a lot. So I wanted to mention that. You can kind of see some of the plastic peeking through right there. So very cool, very nice touch there. Mattel and Monster High, I see you. And overall, gorgeous. Love these dolls. They're my favorite. I mean, I say that all the time, but like, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Love Miss Meowlody and love Miss Purrsephone. Now, let me bring back in Toralei so we can close this out. Here they all are together. I will have to say, this 3-pack is a little bit complicated. The release was very weird, and I just don't like when dolls immediately become expensive on the secondhand market. So the fact that like these dolls that retail for $75, people are trying to flip them for more, annoys me. It really irks me. So I recommend waiting for retail. Cross your fingers, be patient, but let me know down in the comments below if you have had the chance to pick up these gorgeous dolls yet. I would love to know. And what do you think of them? Who do you like the best out of the three? I'm going with Purrsephone. I don't care. I just think she's gorgeous. But these two are also equally stunning. I'm just preferential to her. I feel like her face is the most unique face we've had yet. And I know a lot of people with her eyes think she looks like, what do they call it? Like wall-eyed? Is that what they say? I don't care. I don't really even know what that means, but this speaks for itself. Beautiful. Okay, well, this has been a long one. I can chat and ramble forever, as you know, clearly. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today and watching me play with my dolls. As always, it's my favorite thing to do. My name is Eli, and this is my channel, Jack Elijah. I hope to see you in the next one. Okay, bye-bye.